Hey, my creative friends. I am Shannon from Shannon Studio, here to talk about a creative life and give tips about making room for a more creative life, what that looks like, and just that sort of thing. And so this is number 171, and so I'm so excited that there's so much to talk about with creativity. So today, I was thinking about, our social media society. I have to be involved with social media. I like to be involved with social media, the different aspects of it for my personal life and professional. And so it's interesting that we have this social media society and that there's so much discussion about it being authentic and not authentic, and what's real, what's not real. And I personally have been going through my goals and looking at what I want to do, and the last year at least I've been thinking about what direction, what are the things that I'd like to do in my business. And it's so tempting to look at social media and go, oh, this person is doing this, so this is what I want to do, or that person's doing something, so that's what I want to do. And we can get caught up in that cycle of looking at what everybody's doing and then going from thing to thing, trying to do what they're doing. And it can some of it may be good, but some of it can drive us crazy. Some of it can just make us crazy. And so I think there's things that have to happen and within ourselves in order to make sure we're doing things that are authentic. And that's another thing that's that word's been thrown around a lot, being authentic. And for me personally, I always think, and I've thought about this, what feels authentic? What is authentic? And for me, it's when my actions align with my moral compass. So that at the very core is for me being authentic. If I do have a moral compass. If my moral compass says to be certain things, have certain character traits, to act certain ways, the more I actually do that, the more authentic I feel. The more, at one I feel with myself, and I feel like I'm acting from a place that is who I really am. And that's hard to make that transition into social media for a lot of people. But even if you don't use social media, that's a place to operate from. That's where you want to operate from, being authentic. So defined, authentic means not false, genuine, real, supported. The origin of what you're doing is supported by unquestionable evidence. So it's like acting, acting the way you always act, not because some external thing. So acting from an origin, from the place from within, and not being reactionary from the outside of what's happening, or if you're seeing something else to be done. And let's see, authentic means representing one's true beliefs, not copied. You're not a copy, and that's the biggest thing is that you shouldn't be copying somebody else's life. I mean, I think we all copy aspects, but that, and I think too, also we can copy things in order to learn and to grow. But if you're going to try to step into somebody else's shoe and be just like them, that's where I think you might become frustrated. That's where you might not feel happy, because you're not really going in a place that really is coming directed, is self-directed. It's not coming from your inner person. So there's a few quotes that I pulled out. And one of the quotes from The How of Happiness, it says, "It goes without saying that a person needs to make an honest effort in trying a new strategy in order to achieve any benefit." So if you're looking for a creative life, I'm hoping you see some creativeness in my life, but that doesn't mean copy everything. And I did, like I said, this is 171 videos. There's a lot of things in there. Not all of them are going to apply to you. Not all of them are you going to do right away, or you're going to find the things that really matter to you. So a creative life isn't just going to fall in your lap. You have to create a strategy in order to get that creative benefits. So that's why all the videos, so that you can pick and choose the few things that you want, be inspired by some other things, but that you start to create a strategy for you. And so one of the words I read a couple months ago that I thought was so funny, they were talking about research, but instead they called it me-search, because they were talking about looking at yourself and discovering who you are and what you want. Like I said, I'm doing goals and stuff, and so I'm looking at what do I really want. And some of the things, I thought I wanted, I'm like, we see the pretty pictures, or we see the pretty side of things so easily, but it's like, do you really want to do the work part of it that goes with it? And oftentimes I don't. I'm thinking, no. Like if you wanted to do, go to different states and do these different conferences, or do, that's great. And you see, like if somebody's doing a pinners conference, or if they're doing some other thing, teaching at some other thing, they have the this audience and they're doing fun things, but then you don't see, or I don't see, the traveling that goes on, that they're gone from their family for days, or they're they've had to get up at this time, rush to do it, and they get back, rush back. So there's different aspects of different things that we have to take into account. And so, but the biggest thing is to do some me-search, where you're looking about what you want to do. I'm looking at my notes. Yes. Let's see. I didn't really put an order to my things tonight. But there was a comic that somebody was talking about in Real Artists Don't Starve, where it kind of goes with this idea of we don't see the full picture when we get an image on Instagram, or when we just think of the glamorous part. It says artist Stephanie, one daily drawing was a 2-panel comic depicting the dream of being an entrepreneur, with the picture of herself riding a unicorn, crooning "Freedom Forever," versus the reality of running a business, which included a picture of her hunched over a laptop, scowling and saying, "I haven't showered." So it's that kind of honesty in her comic that people really like. But it's two sides of the same coin. I mean, you have this part, that the fun part, the things that are fun, and then the work part. So in making a creative life, you have to decide, what is it that I want to do? Do I want the benefits? On my website, I have a page of benefits that come from living and being creative, and that's not even the half of it. That's just like a little overview. There are so many benefits, but do you really believe the benefits? Do you really think that's what you want? And so, let's see. Marie Forleo was saying, one of the things I find in my own work that can be one of the most challenging hurdles to overcome for all of us is being able to identify and articulate clearly what it is that we really want. And then she says, cue the song "What I Really, Really Want" by Spice Girls. It's that song. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. And so that is hard for us. It is hard for us to figure out what we really want, to take all of the input that we have everywhere and really separate out what is them and what is me. And I think there's different ways to do that, but usually it requires some kind of quiet, some kind of space, some kind of being apart. In Wired to Create, it said that Steve Jobs says, "When I meditate, I find I do things for more honest, more enjoyable, and healthier reasons." So being able to get ourselves to a place where you can meditate, you can do whatever brings you to a place where you can really think. where you can really think about yourself, where you can really do some research. So that's what I think what we, at the beginning of this year, when we're making goals, when we're doing these things, is to take some time for some research, to be honest with ourselves about what we really want, and to pursue that, and to not pursue some of the things that somebody else wants us to do, or what we think we're supposed to do, but to really figure out what it is that you want to do and I want to do. And then we are going to find greater happiness from that. So much greater happiness, fulfillment, everything. So in your creative life, if it's just, I want to read about creative people, that's fine. You don't have to make a thing. If it's, I just want to go on creative retreats, or if I just want to follow some creative artists right now, that's all that I have time and energy to do. So whatever it is that fulfills you and helps you to have a more creative life, then do that. There's plenty of videos I have to help you, but find what works for you. Find what's going to help you, and get down a path that is going to be authentic to you. So the challenge today is to do a little research, find out what you really want, share one creative goal with me, one creative thing that you really think will benefit you, and just kind of up your creative lifestyle game. So that's the challenge, and share with me what the one thing that you want to do to kind of, like I said, be a little more creative. I'm trying to think. My one creative thing, which is huge for me, that is doing the videos. And because there's nothing, I mean, I just wanted to do it. Sadly, there's not this huge goal. There's things evolving, but that's been my one thing that I've wanted to do, and I set a goal for myself, but I started in August. Your goals don't have to be just in January. But so that's my thing that I'm sharing with you, that I wanted to do these videos, and that I felt like that's a goal I wanted to do. Share with me your goal, your creative goal that's going to take you just one level, up your level in your creative lifestyle. So remember, you have a creative heartbeat, so listen for it, and I will be back tomorrow. So bye for now.